The first clue that something was off wasn't the holes in my fence or the neon paint stains. It was the sound, you know? That hollow metallic tap echoing across my backyard just after sunset. At first, I thought, okay, maybe it's just a woodpecker on a mission, but the rhythm was off, deliberate, not the frantic chaos of a bird. I step outside and sure enough, there's the glint of a drill bit slipping through the slats, and then this low whisper. Classic Karen Wilcox, our beloved HOA president, out there in her sandals, clipboard, and attitude. Now, to say Karen disliked me is an Olympic understatement. Ever since I swapped out my rotten fence for something taller, darker, and way less see-through, God forbid, she's been on a slow boil. No HOA rule against the color, but according to her, my fence was a visual disruption. Translation: it blocked her view of my tomatoes and her running commentary on my life. I try to play it cool, phone out, recording just in case. Evening, Karen, I called. She froze, drill in hand, then muttered something about boundary inspection, as if she was mapping the Berlin Wall, not snooping through my backyard. When she scurried off, I checked the fence. For perfect little holes, just big enough for a camera. That was my wake-up call. I plugged the holes, snapped some photos, sent a bland, polite email to the HOA board. Possible vandalism, documentation attached. It's not that I thought the board would do anything, but with Karen, you learn, documentation is ammunition. 3 days later, the plugs were missing, holes re-drilled, and, get this, filled with iridescent glitter. That's right, Karen had literally decorated her trespassing, like she was prepping for a Pinterest heist. That night, I caught her peering through one of the holes, one blue, eye filling the gap like something out of a horror flick. When my motion sensor light clicked on, she jerked back, clutching her clipboard like a riot shield. Evening again, I said, maybe a little too chipper. Just conducting another visual assessment, she snapped, and informed me my fence was now in violation of Section 14, Sub B, unauthorized modifications. I checked the handbook. Section 14B was about roof shingles. Classic Karen, make up rules on the fly. That's when my pettiness woke up. I started researching DIY forums, backyard engineering threads, paintball traps. Ended up designing a motion-activated paint cannon. Nothing dangerous, just messy enough to make a point. My neighbor Tom, who Karen once fined for excessive wind chimes, spotted me hauling PVC pipe and paint cans into the yard. Building a cannon or a submarine? He joked. Both, I said. Tom offered to help. We spent the afternoon rigging a system behind the fence. Every hole got a nozzle, paint canisters rigged with sensors, all hidden away. We tested it on cardboard, worked like a charm. That blue paint splatter? Abstract art, my friend. For a week, nothing. Then, Sunday morning, there's Karen, clipboard ready, sneaking up to the fence. She peers in. The paint cannon fires. Karen screams, blue from her hairline to her shoes, dog barking like we'd set off a bomb. I step out with a towel. Sorry, new art installation, scares off raccoons. She shrieked about chemical weapons and HOA lawsuits, but I just sent the board photos of her drill holes and a video clip for good measure. By sundown, the block was buzzing about Karen's blue lawn. Someone posted photos online, smuff turf mystery. Even Tom couldn't stop laughing. But Karen wasn't done. Next day, a violation notice appeared on my mailbox. Use of projectile devices constitutes hostile intent. She'd escalated, so I upgraded. Added a sound system. Every time motion triggered, it played. Smile, you're on neighborhood watch. Tom texted, you're trending on Nextdoor. Even doorbell cams got in on it. Karen retaliated by installing 4 security cameras facing my fence, 2 pointed straight through her own drill holes. I watched her from my kitchen as she directed the installation crew like a general at war. If she wanted a surveillance arms race, I could play. I rigged a set of vertical paint nozzles inside the fence, angled up toward her cameras, triggered by their own infrared LED flashes. The first night she tried to watch me, her cameras went ghostly white with privacy paint. She accused me of sabotage. I shrugged. Must be the humidity. Her cameras, expensive as they were, ended up useless, caked with invisible film paint. She took them down and ranted to anyone who'd listen. A few days of peace, then a new twist, 2 uniformed officers at my door. Mrs. Wilcox reported you for vandalism. I smiled, invited them in, played my security footage, her drilling, trespassing, even blue-faced shrieking. The younger officer tried not to laugh. Not unless creativity is a crime, the older one said, and filed her report as unfounded. Karen watched from her porch, furious and humiliated. That night, my cameras caught her sneaking around again, flashlight in hand, drilling new holes near the ground. This time, I sent the footage to the HOA and CC'd the community watch group Karen herself founded. By noon, everyone had seen it. Drill Sergeant Karen became a meme overnight. A couple days later, she tried to broker peace, knocked on my door in sunglasses, forced a smile, and suggested we issue a joint statement. I told her to repair every hole and repaint my fence, and her mask cracked. "You're enjoying this," she said. "I'm enjoying my privacy, Karen." That night, she tried to sabotage my paint system by jamming the nozzles, but each had a purge valve. Red paint exploded onto her side. She called it blood vandalism. The block had a field day with that one. The next escalation? An emergency HOA meeting, Karen's last stand. She accused me of harassment and vandalism. I quietly played the midnight drill footage. Gasps all around. The HOA chair suspended Karen on the spot. She stormed out, swearing this wasn't over. For a minute, I believed her, because humiliation only made her more dangerous. Next morning, I found new solar lights along the property line, disguised audio recorders. I nearly laughed. Karen had moved from dictator to wannabe spy. Instead of confronting her, I set up a soundboard. Whenever her sensors triggered, random noises played. Barking dogs, whispers, a booming, "Get OFF my lawn." Tom dubbed it the fence poltergeist. Karen freaked, called an electrician, then the cops. They found nothing illegal, apologized, and left. Soon, Karen's adult son Tyler got involved. Angrier, even less subtle. One night, my outdoor power cut out, breaker flipped, drill left on the ground. My security footage caught them both. By morning, I'd sent it to the police and the new HOA president. Someone uploaded it to the community page, Trespassers at Midnight. Karen became the fence phantom. But humiliation just made her double down. Next morning, green paint dumped all over my yard. I called the cops, filed charges for vandalism. This time, the entire street watched as the police confronted Karen and Tyler. The officer issued a formal citation and warned her, "Next time, it's criminal charges." Tom asked if it was over. "No," I said. "She's still holding the shovel." What finally broke her was the paperwork. I upgraded my surveillance, audio loggers, cloud uploads, everything sent straight to the police. The first night the system caught her at it again, Detective Alvarez showed up with a search warrant. Charges stuck this time: trespass, vandalism, restraining order. Karen tried to spin it, but even the local kids stopped taking her side. Her last gambit: claim my fence was on her land, hire surveyors, demand I tear it down. My lawyer, Priya, countered with county records proving I was 8 inches inside my line. Checkmate. Then, broad daylight, Karen snapped, took a hammer to the fence. It was all caught on camera. Another police report, another citation. Finally, a judge issued a full restraining order. Karen packed up, moved out, and the new neighbors turned out to be garden-loving, drama-verse retirees. Peace at last. But nothing about it felt like victory. I'd spent months defending a stupid fence, only to realize it wasn't about the wood or the paint. It was about standing your ground when someone decides your boundaries are optional. That fence is still there, restained, repaired, and maybe a little legendary in the neighborhood now. Tom likes to joke the cannons are on standby. I just smile, water my tomatoes, and enjoy the quiet. Of course, nothing's ever truly over with people like Karen. 2 weeks later, Tom showed me a Facebook group. Karen had reinvented herself online, posting exposing HOA abuse, rants, edited clips making me out as the villain. She even sent an anonymous tip to my boss, tried to rile up HR. When that didn't work, she left a handwritten note. "You can paint your fences, but you can't paint over what you did." Tyler started lurking, caught on camera twice. More police visits. Eventually, both were included in the restraining order. After all the chaos, I realized something. Some people break things to feel powerful, but some of us just keep fixing and outlasting. This fence, battered as it is, isn't just mine anymore. It's a story the whole neighborhood knows by heart. Maybe the only way to survive a war with someone like Karen is to turn their spectacle into your fortress, Let the community see everything and then outlast the storm. So, if you've ever had a neighbor like that, someone who can't stand the idea of you minding your own business, remember, patience, paperwork, and a healthy sense of humor will outlast even the most relentless Karen. And hey, tell me below, who do you think was right? Who crossed the line? Drop your wildest neighbor war stories in the comments. Let's see if anyone can top a glitter-bombed, paint-splattered fence. You know what I mean?